Welcome to Tours of History.
Where we explore the past, one incredible city at a time. I'm Eden.
And I'm Avery. And today we're taking you to a city steeped in magic and centuries of stories, Prague.
That's right, Avery. From its medieval cobblestones and Gothic spires to its surprisingly vibrant modern beer culture, Prague really is just a treasure trove of history.
Absolutely. Over the next, 3 days, we're going to virtually walk you through an itinerary packed with incredible historical sites, truly unique local experiences, and, of course, plenty of practical travel tips to make your own trip unforgettable.
So if you've ever dreamed of wandering through ancient castles or, discovering hidden alleyways with centuries of secrets, then stick around because this episode is definitely for you.
All right, so for day one of our Prague adventure, Eden, I think we have to start bright and early. I'm talking just before dawn early.
Oh, absolutely, Avery. There's just something magical about those early morning hours in Prague's Old Town. The cobblestones, they're still glistening from the night dew. The Gothic spires of the Tyn Church are just piercing the sky as the sun starts to peek over the horizon. And the best part? It's largely crowd-free. It's truly enchanting.
Yeah, it really is. It gives you this incredible sense of stepping back in time. And as the sun really starts to come up, that's when you want to head straight for Old Town Square. It's just the beating heart of Prague.
And the absolute star of the show there, for me anyway, has got to be the Astronomical Clock. I mean, it's been ticking away, showing time and astronomical positions since, get this, 1410. Every hour on the hour, you just have to be there for the procession of the apostles. It's a whole event.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's like a tiny, intricate theater performance right there on the clock face. And then, of course, you have the imposing Tyn Church dominating the square. Just a truly stunning example of Gothic architecture. You can spend hours just, soaking in the atmosphere, grabbing a coffee.
Yeah, and from Old Town Square, you're just a short walk away from another incredibly significant area, the Jewish Quarter, or Josefov. This district, it's just so rich with history and, a bit of a poignant past, too.
It truly is. You'll want to explore the old Jewish cemetery, which is just fascinating. It's not your typical cemetery. The tombstones are just layered on top of each other because they couldn't expand. It's incredibly moving. And then there's the Spanish synagogue, which is just stunning inside with its Moorish design.
And don't forget the Old New Synagogue, which Avery actually mentioned earlier as part of the Old Town Square visit, but it's really the heart of the Jewish Quarter. It's one of Europe's oldest active synagogues, and legend has it that the golem of Prague, the mythical creature, is still hidden in its attic.
Right? It's just so cool how these legends are woven into the very fabric of the city. And speaking of legends, if you're feeling up to it, there are some really great optional themed walking tours you can do in the area, focusing on history, local legends, even alchemy, which is super popular in Prague.
Yeah, those sound really fun. Now, for getting around on day one, especially in Old Town in the Jewish Quarter, our absolute top recommendation, honestly, is just to walk. The city center is incredibly walkable, and that's how you really discover those hidden gems and, charming little alleyways.
Exactly. But if your feet start to get tired or you want to venture a bit further, Prague has an excellent public transportation system. Trams, buses, the metro, even ride shares are readily available for longer trips. But for this particular day, you'll mostly be hoofing it.
And for lunch on day one, you'll definitely want to experience some traditional Czech cuisine. There are so many great spots near Old Town Square. We'd suggest finding a local pub or a traditional Czech hospoda that serves hearty fare. Think goulash or perhaps some delicious svichkova with dumplings.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing beats a warm, comforting Czech meal after all that walking and sightseeing. And then for dinner, as the evening settles and Old Town just comes alive with a completely different energy, you should seek out a spot that offers a lively atmosphere. Many restaurants in Old Town offer, live music or just a fantastic, bustling vibe.
Yeah, just soak it all in. Find a place with a view of the illuminated Old Town Square, if you can, and just enjoy the vibrant nightlife. It's the perfect way to, cap off your first full day exploring Prague's historic heart.
Okay, so day one was all about the old town and the Jewish quarter. Now, for day two, Eden, we're going to make that iconic crossing over the Charles Bridge. I mean, it's a must-do in Prague, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Avery. You just have to walk across the Charles Bridge. It's like more than just a bridge. It's a historical landmark, adorned with those incredible Baroque statues. And as you walk across, you're just soaking in centuries of history, The views of the castle on one side and the old town on the other. It's just breathtaking.
It really is. And once you cross, you're stepping into Lesser Town or Malastrana. This area just feels grander, I guess, than Old Town in some ways. It's filled with these stunning Baroque churches and really elegant winding lanes.
Yeah, it has a completely different vibe, almost more regal. You could just spend hours wandering through those charming streets, popping into the little shops, or just admiring the architecture. But the real jewel of Lesser Town, and our main focus for day two, has to be the majestic Prague Castle complex.
Oh, for sure. The castle isn't just one building. It's a whole complex of palaces, churches, gardens, and even the monastery. It's been the seat of Bohemian kings, Holy Roman emperors, and presidents of Czechoslovakia and the Czech Republic for over 1,000 years. It exudes history.
And the centerpiece, in my opinion, has to be St. Vitus Cathedral. I mean, you see it from almost everywhere in Prague. Its Gothic spires just reaching for the sky. But when you're inside, it's just mind-blowing. The stained glass windows, the sheer scale of it, it's incredibly awe-inspiring.
Yeah, it truly is. And within the castle complex, you also have the old royal palace with the stunning Vladislav Hall, where jousting tournaments used to be held indoors. Can you even imagine that? And then there's Goldenlein, which is this charming little street with tiny, colorful houses that once housed alchemists and goldsmiths. It's almost like a fairy tale.
It really is like stepping into a storybook. Now, for those listeners who might be looking for something a little bit off the main tourist path, but still steeped in history, we have an optional suggestion for day two, a visit to Vyšehrad.
Oh, Vyšehrad is fantastic. It's a quieter, hilltop fortress with its own basilica and a really historic cemetery where many prominent Czech figures are buried, including composers like Dvořák. It offers a slightly different perspective of Prague's history and stunning views without the same crowds as the castle.
Yeah, it's a great choice if you have the time and, want a bit more tranquility. Now, speaking of views, for our transportation tip for day two, especially getting to the castle and around Lesser Town, it's mostly walkable from Charles Bridge. But the climb up to the castle can be a bit steep, so consider taking a tram up the hill and then walking down. It saves your legs and still gives you fantastic views.
Good point. Good point. And as the day winds down, one of the best ways to cap off day two is to catch a sunset from either Petřín Hill or Letná Park. Petřín Hill gives you this panoramic view of the city, especially from its observation tower, which, fun fact, is a mini Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, the views are just incredible from up there. And Letná Park, on the other side of the Vltava River, it offers that iconic metronome view overlooking the city and the bridges. It's a picture-perfect moment, truly.
It is. And for dinner on day two, after all that historical immersion and those incredible views, we recommend something a little bit more elevated, fitting for the grandeur of the Castle District. You're looking for fine dining with ideally stunning city views.
Absolutely. Two fantastic options that come to mind are Terasa u Zlata Studne or Coda. Both offer not just exquisite cuisine, but also these absolutely breathtaking views of Prague Castle and the city lights below. It's like the perfect way to have a memorable meal and reflect on the day's historical journey.
Yeah, it just really adds to the whole experience, It's not just about the food, it's about the atmosphere, the views, the feeling of being in such a historically rich place. And after that, You'll be ready for day 3, which is all about Newtown, culture, and, of course, some celebratory brews.
All right, Avery. Day 3. We've had our dose of medieval charm, regal castles, and stunning views. Now let's dive into something a bit more vibrant and modern, but still deeply rooted in Czech culture. Newtown.
Yes, Newtown or Nové Město is actually not that new historically, but it definitely feels different. And what better way to kick off our final full day than with an immersive Czech food tour? I mean, you can't go to Prague without really trying the local cuisine, right?
You absolutely cannot. And a food tour is like the best way to do it because you get to sample so many different things. We're talking hearty, traditional Czech delicacies here. Dumplings, goulash, and, of course, the incredible craft beer that Prague is so famous for.
Oh, the dumplings they're an experience in themselves. They're so versatile. And the goulash, it's rich, it's flavorful, it's perfect for fueling up for a day of exploration. And you're right, the beer in Prague is legendary. It's a huge part of their culture.
It really is. And after we've, filled our bellies, we're going to head to Wenceslas Square. Now, this isn't a traditional square with like fountains and benches. It's more of a long, bustling boulevard.
Yeah, it's more like a grand avenue, and it's been the site of so many pivotal moments in Czech history, from demonstrations to celebrations. It's truly the heart of modern Prague, where a lot of the major events happen. It's got shops, restaurants, theaters.
Exactly. And at the top of Wenceslas Square, you have the magnificent National Museum. For our museum recommendation, this is a fantastic option if you want to dive deep into Czech history, natural sciences, and art. It's got like a really impressive collection.
It does. But for those who might want something a little more quirky or niche, Prague has some really unique museums. You could choose like an alchemy museum, which explores Prague's mystical past, or even a medieval torture museum, which is definitely a different kind of historical experience.
Or, for something less intense, there's always the Museum of Decorative Arts. Prague really has a museum for every interest, which is awesome. So you can tailor it to what you're feeling on the day.
Totally. And before we start winding down the day, we've got one more architectural gem to recommend: St. Stephen's Church. It's a fantastic example of Gothic, Baroque architecture. Really beautiful. And a nice, quiet stop amidst the Newtown bustle.
Oh, it's lovely. A hidden gem almost. But after all that exploring, all that history, all that walking, I think it's time to celebrate the end of our Prague adventure. Wouldn't you say, Avery?
I would absolutely say that, Eden. And what better way to do it than with an authentic Czech beer experience? You can choose between places like U Kunstatu, which is this really cool historic cellar brewery.
Yes, or Beer Point, which offers like a great selection of craft beers. Or for a full, comprehensive understanding of Czech brewing, you could even visit the Prague Beer Museum. It's not a museum in the traditional sense. It's more of a pub with like 100 different Czech beers on tap.
It's brilliant. You can try so many different local brews, from lagers to darker beers, and really just immerse yourself in that famous Czech beer culture. It's the perfect way to toast to an incredible 3 days in Prague.
I agree completely. It just feels like the right, fitting way to end this historical and cultural journey through such a beautiful city.
Wow, Eden, what an absolutely incredible 3 days we've had in Prague. From those quiet early morning strolls through Old Town's cobblestones to the majestic Prague Castle, and then finishing up with those delicious food tours and those celebratory beers. It's just been a journey through so many layers of history.
It really has, Avery. I mean, it's just so much more than just, looking at old buildings. It's about feeling the history, understanding the stories behind the places. And for me, I think the biggest takeaway from this trip from Prague is just how resilient the city is. It's seen so much, so many changes, so much upheaval, but it always retains its unique charm and its spirit. It's just it's palpable.
Absolutely. It's like every stone has a story, right? And the way it blends ancient history with its vibrant present, it's truly remarkable. I think if I had to pick one thing, it's just how much the city itself feels like a living museum. You don't have to go inside. It's all around you.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. It really, truly is. And that brings us, sadly, to the end of our Prague adventure on Tours of History.
It does. But we hope you, our listeners, have enjoyed exploring this incredible city with us. If you did, please do us a huge favor. Subscribe to Tours of History wherever you get your podcasts. Just hit that bell, set it to all, so you don't miss a single episode.
Yes, please. And if you, have a moment, a quick rating and review really helps other history lovers find us. Share us with your friends, your family, anyone who enjoys a good story and a bit of travel inspiration. We really appreciate your support.
We really do. And speaking of future travels, our next destination is another European gem, one known for its imperial palaces, its classical music, and, dare I say, some rather delicious pastries. Any guesses, Eden?
Well, I'm thinking of a city that was once the heart of a vast empire, where grand avenues meet magnificent cathedrals, and the sound of a waltz isn't too far off.
You got it. We're heading to Vienna. So join us next time for another deep dive into history.
We can't wait. Until then, happy travels and keep exploring the past.